It was a special day when this object was first discovered. We have been waiting for the discovery of an interstellar object for decades, basically.
But I think there's always been a part of me that wanted to be an astronaut. Actually, not even be an astronaut, just go into space and see the Earth from that angle. When I was young and I heard about the Mars Colony project, I even considered applying, but I was like 13 or 14 at the time, so I was like, I'm not gonna be that helpful starting a colony on Mars, you guys know what I mean. But with NASA, I gotta give credit where it's due. They have accomplished a lot for us in terms of space exploration, or have they? What is up, you guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host, Ayman Hassan, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to see if NASA has any scandals or lies up its sleeve with the top 10 scary NASA theories. Starting us off with number 10 is the NASA hoax. Now, there's actually a legitimate theory out there that is dead set on the fact that NASA itself is just a lie. The theory suggests NASA's whole function is just to generate space-related hoaxes instead of actual space exploration. It backs that statement by saying that the moon landing was staged and that all the pictures we have of Mars, Earth, and even Pluto are simply CGI. I actually read a stat somewhere that 6% of America's population believe the moon landing was staged, and considering how large their population is, that is a lot of people. In reality though, NASA was formed back in 1958 to provide for research into problems of flight within and outside the Earth's atmosphere and for other purposes. What the hell does other purposes mean? You tell me. Coming in at number 9 is NIBIRU. Now, this planet was first mentioned back in 1976 in a book titled The 12th Planet. In it, the author had included his translation of ancient Sumerian cuneiform and claimed that the text was proof that there is a planet beyond Neptune. This 12th planet, called NIBIRU, apparently orbits the sun every 3,600 years, so I'm probably not going to be able to debunk this one in my lifetime. Now, apparently years after the book was published, psychic Nancy Leader claimed that she had some sort of communication with extraterrestrials who told her that NIBIRU would crash into Earth in 2003. That clearly didn't happen, and the date was moved to 2012 and continued to be delayed. NASA scientists like David Morrison are sick and tired of having to debunk the NIBIRU doomsday theory, as the planet simply doesn't even exist. The organization assumed it would just be a passing internet fad, but they were wrong. And to be fair, after writing this video, I have major trust issues with NASA, so I don't even know if I believe them with this one. At number 8, we have the UFO sighting. So back in 2015, NASA was accused of abruptly stopping their live feed from the ISS just as a UFO came into sight. Now, it's hard to tell, but a tiny grey circular object rises and then disappears in the footage right before the cutoff. I mean, it could also totally not be a UFO, but it's still an unidentified flying object, so make of that what you will. Dr. Brian O'Leary, an ex-NASA astronaut, said there's abundant evidence that we're being contacted and that civilizations have been visiting us for ages. Dr. Edgar Mitchell, the 6th person on the moon, said there has been crashed craft and bodies recovered, but that NASA has just never made that information public because it would cause too much chaos. I mean, thankfully, the one good thing that's come out of 2020 is the confirmation that aliens do exist and have landed on Earth before, so I mean, NASA has no leg to stand on at this point. Filling on number 7 slot is The Secret. So we all know about Neil Armstrong setting foot on the moon and the whole leap for mankind spiel, but that wasn't the full story, and apparently NASA never wanted us to know the full story either. According to Maurice Chatelain, the retired chief of NASA communications system, Armstrong saw things when he got off the spacecraft. Seconds before he stepped down the ladder, he saw 2 massive UFOs hovering above him, and Edwin Aldrin even took pictures of them. That was followed by 2 minutes of radio silence because one of the television cameras overheated and then lost reception. During those 2 minutes, there was a critical lost transmission, and that was Armstrong saying, "These babies were huge, sir, enormous. Oh God, you wouldn't believe it. I'm telling you, there are other spacecraft out here, lined up on the far side of the crater's edge. They're on the moon watching us." That statement was never made public. It was never even included in any of the records, and he refused to talk about it till his death. Thankfully, enough people had corroborated the evidence that we do know it to be true. I love how this massive part of history has this whole other side to it, and then we just didn't get told it. I'm angry. I'm annoyed, but I wish NASA had told us because that's just shocking. Now at number 6 are the moon landings. Come on guys, it's a NASA video, you knew I was going to talk about it. 1969 was a great year for the US in regards to the space race it was in with the Soviet Union. It was great because that was the year the US landed on the moon, or so NASA claimed. Between 1969 and 1972, 12 NASA astronauts walked on the moon, but the public weren't too convinced that it was real. Many theories claim that the whole Apollo program was staged, with questions arising like, where are the stars in any of the moonwalkers' photos? Where are they? How, in a vacuum-like space, were the US flags fluttering? Why can we see a ton of footprints on the surface of the moon, but zero evidence or marks of any lunar modules actually landing? NASA responded to the claim, saying that there were no stars in the sky because the bright glow on the surface of the Earth washed them out. For the flags, metal wires were sewn into them so they could be straight instead of flopping down. But then wouldn't a wire make them rigidly straight, not fluttering? Just saying. Coming in at number 5 is the Millennium Falcon, not to be confused with the one in Star Wars, but I see how you'd make that mistake. Sadly, Han Solo is not in this story, but I hope he was. Also, to sidetrack, I watched the Solo movie a month ago and I quite enjoyed it, and I want to know what you guys think of it if you have seen it, so tell me below. Anyway, while watching the ISS NASA live feed back in 2016, Jaden Beeson said he saw a metal spaceship. He said the UFO that he saw seemed similar to the Millennium Falcon found in the movie, so he realized he definitely needed to take a screenshot to prove what he was seeing. The metal craft had a blue glow to it and stayed hovering above Earth for approximately 2 minutes. And it's very clear to see it's not even a small craft by any means. Either way, Jaden sent the image to NASA so they could explain or debunk what he was seeing, but he has not got any explanation or response back, and it's been 4 years since he sent the message, which makes the whole thing even that much more suspicious. How all these craft just hovering above Earth, communicating with NASA and then going away? What is the organization trying so desperately to hide from us? I must know. At number 4 is the alien space station. This theory was put forward by Scott C. Waring, and he claims that he found 2 photos that were posted on the NASA Image Atlas that have since been deleted. According to him, the pictures showed proof that the moon isn't a satellite planet, it's actually an alien space station. The surface of the moon is uneven and covered in debris as a cover to make it seem like a celestial body, when in actual fact there's a point on the planet that opens up like a gate and lets spacecraft come in and out. NASA went ahead and dismissed his claims completely without even giving their own reasoning. Maybe they just thought it was so ridiculous they didn't have to comment on it, or maybe it was so close to the truth they didn't want to add more fuel to the fire. Who knows? Filling at number 3 slot is the Illuminati. I feel like without fail on any list of theories we do on the channel, the Illuminati somehow always ends up being on it, and this list is no exception. This theory claims that NASA was entirely constructed by the Illuminati for the Illuminati. The theories are already rife that the Illuminati control the world on the low, from the music industry to the people in power to even the huge businesses that monopolize the market. Remember when everyone thought Lady Gaga and Rihanna had sold their souls to the Illuminati? 2008 was wild, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. Now, the organization created NASA because they wanted to be the first ones to know about any and all new updates regarding space. Whether that meant contact from foreign spacecrafts or contact from extraterrestrials themselves, they had to know it all, since I guess they do control the Earth apparently. Now at number 2 is the dark side. Another theory put forward by Scott C. Waring was that the dark side of the moon houses an alien city. He came to that conclusion after heavily analyzing a picture of the Giordano Bruno crater that lies on the dark side. At 14 miles wide, he claimed he found damaged structures in and around it that could very well be 100 million years old. Some had reflective roofs and others straight up looked like spacecrafts. NASA again went and debunked this, claiming objects seen on the moon are literally just mind tricks or part of the psychological phenomenon called pareidolia. Pareidolia refers to someone's incorrect tendency to see objects and patterns in things like clouds and the moon apparently. And finally, at number 1 is the alien partnership. Now when we think of alien activity on Earth, our minds immediately go to Area 51, and I mean, I get it. Why wouldn't they? But according to this theory, NASA is actually the hub of all alien activity, and that's not surprising. They visit space the most and have some of the best high-tech equipment on Earth. It goes on to say that some space missions have had both humans and extraterrestrials aboard, and that's how close their partnership has gotten. Apparently, NASA contacted aliens a long time ago and has seen and discovered a lot more than it's ever going to make public, which I feel like is sad to share. We want to know too what is out there. And that is it for today's video, guys. Space. You never know what may be coming next. It's 2020. I feel like a lot could happen and we're not even gonna know. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. As always, I'm your host Ayman Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Coming in at number 9 is NIBIRU. Move into the ocean deeper than the sea. You got everything, you got what I need. Armstrong. Many theorists claim that the whole Apollo program was program.